Good morning, all of you. It's good to be here again. Familiar faces or familiar names if I can't see your face. If you're new to this, we're offering this every Monday morning. Peace in Schools is as a community meditation, just for support for our well-being. And I'm Shuchi. I am a Peace in Schools mindfulness teacher. I go by she, her pronouns. And this is open to all, whether you're new to it, new to meditation, or whether you're a seasoned practitioner or somewhere in between. Hopefully, you can all find this supportive in some manner. We're happy to be doing this and sharing this with all of you. So the format will be where we do a quick check-in at the start, and then I'll guide you through about a 20-minute meditation, and then a quick checkout at the end. For the check-in, in a word or a phrase, perhaps, if you could share, and you don't have to, this is optional, but if you could share, you could put it into the chat window. What's bringing you here this morning? And just a word or a phrase, a reflection of what's bringing you here. Curiosity, mindful connection, a sense of grounding to start the week, sustenance, absolutely, support, calming my busy mind, seeking stillness, and connection on my end. So thank you so much for sharing. Let's get started. So the theme for today's meditation is balance, finding inner balance. We can talk of balance on so many different fronts, balance in our physical bodies, and lovely to see you. Balance on the emotional front, the highs and the lows and how we get pulled in different directions. Balance on the mental front, where we may get sucked in or hijacked by our thoughts, and how to bring alertness and curiosity. Balance between the heart and the mind. So balance on so many different fronts. And in fact, for life to even exist, we need balance, right? Between, the right temperature for our survival, and oxygen and water and sunlight and all of that. And if any of those get off balance, we face the challenges that come along with that. And so many of the problems that we are facing currently can be attributed to something being off balance. So we'll explore this theme of balance. And as if you can picture, as we grow up, from being babies to toddlers, and the baby over there just seems so apt now, there at the right moment, we sort of toddled our way into walking, making micro adjustments to become aware of how to balance ourselves. And now we just walk because we have learned the skill without really paying attention to it. And it just happens effortlessly for most of us. Although there are so many aspects that are playing a role in it. Our eyes, our joints, our muscles, our inner ear, all of that, our brain is helping us achieve that balance. But because it's something we've learned, it's just happening effortlessly. So can we achieve that kind of balance or find that kind of balance even for moments at a time, maybe on the emotional front, when we experience or are hit by an emotion? Do we get knocked down? And how long does it take for us to get centered and balanced again? I like to picture this picture of, those punching bags with sand at the bottom, and where you punch it and it gets knocked to the ground, and then it wobbles its way back and eventually comes to rest in stillness and centered. And so if you picture when you get hit by an emotion, how often do you just get knocked, or are you fairly easily able to get back to center? And that image sort of helps me in terms of how much I am swayed by the emotion. So we'll explore a few aspects of this balance. And as I guide you through this meditation, please keep in mind that this is meant to be supportive for you. And if at any time you feel like this is not for me, or it doesn't resonate with me, or you want to focus on something else that might help you, please feel free to do so and just tune out what I'm saying. Okay. So let's begin with posture, because the body and mind are connected, and your posture can affect your state of mind. And so how do we get balance in our posture? I invite you to be seated for this if it's possible, and just pay attention to how you are seated. Are you leaning too much in front? Are you too far back? Or are you, a little to the left, to the right? Are you slouched, which can lead to drowsiness or lethargy? Are you too stiff, which could lead to tension? So just play around with what will help you feel balanced as you are seated in your posture. It may help if you, sometimes just sort of let yourself rock back and forth or side to side and see where your body eventually comes to rest or stillness. You may experiment with that if you'd like, to just see, is there a point where you feel that balance as you come to stillness? And as you come to this position of stillness, notice how you feel. Is there still tension? Do you feel that sense of almost sort of alertness, but still being at ease, being relaxed? Just become aware of how you feel in this moment. And if there isn't that sense of balance, that sense of alertness and relaxation at the same time, can you let yourself accept it and be with it, that right now I am not feeling it? And just that sense of acceptance and being with it could help you feel balanced in some sense. Just the acceptance. Balance on a different front. I invite you now to tune into your breath. Become aware of all the sensations of your breathing. And as you tune into your breath, notice whether you are still very detached from it, disassociated from it. And if so, lean in a little more. Become aware of all the sensations, the air moving in from the nostrils, through your chest, into the abdomen, and feeling it move all the way out, again and again and again, effortlessly. Or might you be so focused on it and holding on to it so tight that you're almost perhaps controlling your breath or almost not breathing? So kind of tight grip. And if you sense that's where you are, see if you can loosen up and let go a little bit, soften a little bit, to just allow it to flow through you and nourish you effortlessly. If it helps, you can visualize yourself holding something so precious and fragile, perhaps an infant or a little puppy, and you're cradling this precious life in your hands. How would you want to give it that gentle, supportive attention? Could you give your breath that same cradling? And again, become aware as you do this. It may be just a moment of balance where it just flows through. Cherish that moment with each breath. With the awareness of your breath now, sort of moving it into the background, I invite you now to bring to mind some instant or some instance where you have felt off center, unbalanced, or just not sort of even minded. It could be something small. It could be something someone has told you, someone said to you. Preferably pick something that's not too overwhelming. It's something you can possibly be with in the spirit of time. Could be something work related. But just bring it to mind and become aware of what you're feeling as you bring this to mind. What are the emotions that arise in you? Can you acknowledge those emotions? What are the sensations that arise in your body? Do you feel these sensations change with your continuous awareness? Do you find yourself wanting to push this away, disassociate yourself from it, avoid it? Because perhaps there's aversion? And if so, can you lean into it a little bit more and be with it? Let yourself feel this, whatever it is you need to feel. Let yourself rest in it. If, on the other hand, you feel like you are consumed by it, where you can't see beyond it, can you perhaps let go just a little bit at a time, to create some distance from it? And with that distance, a slight, perhaps very slight shift in perspective, a wider perspective. And you may find yourself moving sort of back and forth between being consumed and then trying to loosen and let go a little bit, and then wanting to completely push it away. And then it comes back with full force. And it's little steps at a time. Show yourself, offer yourself compassion and kindness as you take these little steps to either let go just a little bit or let yourself feel it a little bit more instead of pushing it away. If it helps, bring this image again of cradling an infant or a little puppy. Just offering kind, attentive support. So this being feels protected and supported. Can you cradle your emotion or whatever it is you're feeling in the same way? And you may feel that sense of balance or support for a moment at a time. Cherish that moment. And then it may go away. And that's okay too. Perhaps it's something that you may offer yourself, that this will pass. I can be with this, and it will pass. But accepting that it is present and it's okay for it to be present. And also being aware that acceptance does not imply indifference. You still have the capacity to be compassionate and wise in your decisions after having accepted. With the next exhale, I invite you to bring your attention back to your breath, to the feeling of your body seated, the ground supporting you. And whenever you're ready, you may open your eyes or raise your gaze, take in the surroundings and sounds and community. I invite you to take a moment now and just reflect on how you feel, what is most present. And if you're willing, in a word or a phrase, as you did this practice, was there something that you found really challenging? Or was there something that you found resonated with you, or you found useful to take into the day with you anytime you sort of want to stay centered or balanced? If you'd be willing to share that, again, it's optional, but if you'd be willing to share that, you can go ahead and enter that. Remembering to be compassionate to self. My mind was busy today, so I appreciated coming back to the breath. Self-compassion as I balance my needs and the needs of others in the world. Yeah. Feeling off balance this morning, helpful to have this time to center. Yeah, I'm sort of feeling that the connection helps me get centered, just this time to connect. So thank you so much for sharing, drifting, appreciation for the time to sit. Absolutely. So thank you all for taking this time this morning. And just as a reminder that Peace in Schools does have some online courses if you're interested in doing this over time and a lot more depth. Feel free to explore that. If not, we always still have the Monday morning meditations to offer you. And hope to see you here again. And I hope that you can take whatever it is that you felt from this morning, anything that you got out of it through your day today and through the week. So have a lovely, lovely day. Thank you all. Thank you. It's good to see you all. Thanks. Bye.